And we know that anything that's a shoulder issue is linked to this. Okay, and anything that's a hip or a knee issue is linked to this. Okay, this is kind of like your foundation that you know, again, based on all the studies, based on all the research done in physical medicine, that they've seen this pattern. You either have one or the other, or maybe you have both. It could be that you have both, right? So, again, we want to talk about this and integrate that into today, into our posture analysis and gait analysis, right? Okay. Again, why is that right shoulder higher? Why is the neck tilted or rotated to the side, right? Link it with this, right? So, let's go over upper cross syndrome. What did we say were the muscles? Because we learned in upper cross, there's muscles that are tight and there's muscles that are weak. What are the muscles that are tight in upper cross syndrome?
Upper trapezius.
Huh?
Upper trapezius.
Upper trapezius.
Which is the scapula.
And again, I'll number them so maybe I'll help you with the numbers. What's another one?
Okay. It's
Levator scapula.
the SCM.
Okay, levator scapula. SCM, sternocleidomastoid. And what was the fourth one?
The pectoralis major.
Pectoralis. Major. Okay? Pectoralis major. Okay. So these are four muscles that again are prone to tightness. Now on the last day we learned about postural muscles versus phasic muscles, right? Right? Muscles that hold our posture versus stabilizers versus muscles that move us, right? So coroni, vasti, glutes and abs, serratus, rhomboids, lower middle traps. Are they in this at all? Are they coroni, vasti, glutes and abs, serratus, rhomboids, lower middle trap? Are they in here at all? No. So those, the ones that I just kind of sang to you, were the phasic muscles. So all of these are what? What kind of muscles are these? They're all postural muscles. Okay, these are all postural muscles. And again, they're prone to tightness, right? Okay. So when you're looking at posture analysis, right, you're looking for tightness. Levator scapula, right? Upper trapezius, we have one on both sides. If upper trapezius and levator scapula on both sides, if they are acting, if they're working, right, they're action, both of them are going to extend the neck. But if one side is working, it's going to either rotate it to the side or bend it. Rotate. Looking at the shoulder, is that high? Shoulder high, head tilt, right? How about if you're looking for rounded shoulder? What would that be? What do you think? Of these muscles?
No, pectoralis major.
Levator would be a little bit because it does this, right? But moving forward, pulling forward, would be pectoralis major, right? But that's what we're looking for in rounded shoulder, okay? Is we're looking for pectoralis major, as well as it could be levator scapula and upper trapezius. But what pulls forward this way would be pectoralis major, okay? All right. So that's what we're looking for, kind of, you know, when we're looking at posture analysis on the top of the body. At the bottom of the body, what did we say were the muscles that were tight here?
Quads and hamstrings.
Okay, so quadriceps, but mainly one of the major quads is the rectus femoris, right? The quads have 4, but one of them was the rectus femoris. Okay, what's another one? Hamstring. We said hamstring. And how many hamstrings do you have? You remember?
3.
You have 3, right? Okay, what else?
Calves of the
So what?
calves of
The calves. Okay, it wasn't listed, but I'm gonna put it there. It wasn't listed, but I didn't put it there. So gastroc.
Wait, why is the 3? Why is it 3?
The 3, and then we're putting on the right.
What is that?
What does the 3 mean?
muscles in your hamstring.
Oh, okay, I thought that was number 3.
Oh, sorry, I should not make that way. That should be maybe correct. There we go. Gastroc, sodium. Oh, you know what, this should be 5. And it wasn't listed, but
No, 4. 4.
the 3 and there's a 4.
4.
What's the sauce?
Huh?
The sauce?
Psoas. Psoas, right? Or iliopsoas, right?
Good job.
Iliopsoas. Because it's a combination of the iliac and the waterfall. You know the waterfall muscles? That kind of waterfall, with big waterfall and small waterfall, right? How about number 4?
Erector man.
Erector spinae, right? Erector spinae. Okay. So this was the eye of spaghetti, remember? I-L-S, ilio costalis, longisimus, spinalis, right? Okay, so looking at all of these, are any of the coroni, vasti, glutes and abs, serratus, rhomboids, lower middle tract? No, none of them, right? So they're not phakic muscles. These are all also postural muscles, right? Okay, so postural. You guys starting to see connections and stuff like that too, right? The fact that what you're looking for in posture analysis is you're looking for, again, the type of muscle in posture analysis. Okay? Now, in gait analysis, you're not looking for just standing still. In gait analysis, you're looking for a person walking, how they move against gravity, right? So again, how they move against gravity, are they using postural muscles? Or are they using phasic muscles when someone's moving? Phasic, they're using phasic muscles, right? So in phasic muscles, you're looking at coroni, vasti, glutes and abs, serratus, rhomboids, lower middle tract, right? And again, these muscles don't tend to be tight, they tend to be what?
Weak.
They tend to be weak, right? So again, in gait analysis, what you're looking for are the phasic muscles. What is okay? So, I just wanted to add more detail because again, yesterday you guys were just going through it and doing it, right? Yesterday was just about getting your hands wet and just kind of getting your feet wet. Getting your feet wet and just going through the motions of posture analysis and gait analysis, right? But now today I wanted you to understand what is it that you're looking for in posture analysis. You're looking for all of those muscles right there. Whether they are, if that person has an upper cross or whether they have a lower cross syndrome, right? It's going to be one of those muscles. So based on this is what's going to lead you to range of motion and muscle testing. Okay. Now, although you guys are going to practice today, you look on page The next page, the second page. Yeah, it's correct. Yeah, the last page. Yeah, you had it right, Bree. If you look at the other side of the page, you'll see that the range of motion you're going to do is cervical, right, and lumbar. But if someone has shoulder issues, you can have them move their shoulders, right? You can have them do the shoulder movement motions. If someone has hip issues, you can have them do hip, right? Hip range of motion, right? If someone has knee issues, you can have them get knee is only flexion extension, right? So flexion extension, right? So you can have them do those ranges of motion, but basic, I want you to be able to do cervical and lumbar range of motion, okay? So can I have, Ramona, can we have you come up? Okay, so Ramona will sit here, please. Okay. So Ramona, we're gonna do cervical range of motion, okay? So actually, don't you move, so you need to be in front of them, because you don't want them to be looking at you from the side and doing this, right? So, Ramona. That's it, Ramona. I need to do one, I'm blocking you, okay?
It's okay.
Yeah. All right, Ramona. We are going to just check the motion of your neck, okay? So, the first thing I want you to do is, could you look down on, without moving your body, just moving your neck, and look down onto the floor. Okay? So what's the degree that's normal there? What do you guys see on that, on the front of your head now? It's about 60, right? Okay? So sometimes you have to look at the front, but you can also look like, can you look up again?
16,
And then
60,
go ahead.
60.
Left. Now, lay it back up. Thank you. Now can you look up at the ceiling without moving your body? So what is that? Extension, right? Extension. Okay, now look forward again. Okay. Any pain, any of those? You get, when do you have pain?
When I go down, right after.
When you're down. So at the very end, she has pain. So remember I asked on that handout, it also said that this person has pain. Okay? And again, you want to know what pain at what, you know, at the very end or while you're doing it,
Gigi.
right? Or coming back
It was while I'm doing it, when I go down.
while you're doing it.
It was
At
like
the
a
very
screen.
end when they're pain.
Yeah, like right now I don't feel it anymore. But at first when I did it, I felt it in this area when I looked down.
Thank you.
And it went away once I looked up.
Okay. So you want to know what pain it is, right? So again, I might want to ask you to tell. Can you describe the pain to me?
It was just like tightness, like a little stretch.
Thank you.
Like a stretch. You felt like a stretch. Okay. Okay. And again, you want to link it too. You want to link it. Is this the type of pain that you have? Is this the type of pain that you have that you told me about? Right? Again, if you told me you said that pain. Is it the same type of pain? Right? To kind of get a little bit more specific. Remember, you guys are detectives, right? You guys are gathering clues. You're trying to gather evidence to support the story of what you think is going on, right? Okay? So that was flexion extension. So the next one is lateral flexion, right? So, Ramona, can you bring your right ear to your right shoulder? Anything there
Yes, you're here.
on that side, okay? And then go ahead and go back. Can you do it one more time? Feel the same pain?
Yes.
Okay, and it's a pull. Can you
It's a
describe
pull.
it?
It's a pull.
Okay, and come back. And then now you bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Anything there?
Not really, no.
Not really. Okay. Very good. Okay, then come back to center. One more time. Left ear to left shoulder. Anything there? No. Okay. So again, I just want to confirm, right? I just want to confirm what she was feeling and what I was thinking as well. So again, after that, Ramona, keeping your body still, can you look to the right? To your right.
To my right or to my left?
I'm sorry. So, can you
Alcohol
look to your
testing.
right? No, but not your eye, just your neck.
Oh, my neck,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, this is for alcohol testing. Don't worry.
Anything there?
No.
Okay, and come back center. Can you One more time, turn to the right. Very good. And to the center. Okay, and now can you please turn your head to the left? Right. Anything there?
Just like a little soreness on this
Okay,
area.
so again, you guys notice that she's always pointing to that left side of her, right? Can you come back to center again? And go ahead and turn again. Anything there again? You feel it again?
I feel it again, but it's less.
Okay. And then again. Was it feeling like cool?
No, that one just felt like a soreness, like when you have sore muscles.
Oh, so that was different, right? So again, you need to note that it was a little bit different from that first one, right? Now, again, this is active range of motion, right? We talked about AROM, right? So, you guys remember which one did she have a pain with? When did she have a pain with? The two ones that she had a pain with. She had a pain with flexion, and she had a pain with going to her right side, right? Okay. So this is just for fun, but normally after if someone has pain there, I would do something called passive range of motion, right? Where I'm going to move in those positions for her. I'm trying not to do all of them. I'm only trying to do the ones that she had pain with. So she had pain in doing this, right? She had pain in doing this, right? And she had pain in rotating this way, right? Okay? So, again, I didn't write that down, right? But I have to remember it. Right? Again? So, with passive range of motion, you want to do it for them, okay? However, again, we talked about this last week. If you're doing it themselves and there's pain, we don't know if it's a muscle or a joint issue. But when we do it for them, when they're not engaging their muscles, if there's pain, it's a joint issue. If
Sorry,
there is no
again?
pain, then it is a muscle issue, right?
Would you repeat again? Sorry.
Can I repeat again? Okay, so if I'm doing it for them and there is pain, that means it's a joint issue. If I'm doing it for them and there's no pain anymore, then it is a muscle issue. Okay? Alright, because when they're doing it themselves and you feel pain, we don't know if it's a joint or a muscle issue. It could be either one. But me doing it for her now, I'm trying to confirm. Okay? So Ramona, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold your forehead, okay? And go ahead and just relax into my hand right there, just let your head go. Good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push your neck forward, okay? And look at how I can go further than when she was doing it, right? And then just relax here and anything there? No. No pain. Look at that. I did for her and there was no pain, but when she was, go ahead, can you do it yourself again? Is it better?
It is.
It feels better, right?
Muscle.
So again, this is the muscle,
Muscle.
okay?
So no pain is possible.
No pain muscle. Yes.
No pain when I do it for
Oh,
her,
okay.
right? Because again, the muscle's totally relaxed.
Okay.
But when she's trying to do it and it's pain, then it's muscle, right? Okay? All right, so now Ramona, I'm going to have you relax your head to the right. Just relax your head. Okay, and again, she felt the pain when she did the right lateral flexion. She felt it on this side, right? Is that correct, Ramona?
Correct.
Okay, so go ahead, relax your head. And I'm just going to push your head to the right side, okay? Notice how I can do more, right? Okay, was there anything there? No. My helping assistant for right?
Sunny cutter.
Okay, so no pain, right, when I was doing it for her, okay? So the last one that I felt that she said was pain was when you look to the left, right? Okay, so go ahead, relax your head into my forehead, just let go. And again, this is sometimes some people, it's hard for them to let go, so you gotta make sure they're completely let go, or else they're gonna be engaged in the muscle, right? I'm just gonna turn your head to the left, okay? And come and go a little bit further.
Again.
So any pain when I turn your head to the left? No, right? So this confirms to me that it's a muscle issue. It's not a joint issue. Right? Because when she's doing it on herself, now go ahead and do those motions. Again, can you flex your neck again? Yeah, to that side. Any pain there?
I don't know, it feels better.
No, it feels better. Okay, and then go ahead, turn to the left also. A little bit. I can see it. I can see it in her face. She still feels a little bit. So there still needs to be work done. Doesn't mean that once you do the range of motion and it feels better. No, you still have to work on the muscle, right? And again, upper trapezius, levator scapula, SCM in the front, right? SCM, and then pectoralis. There's somebody in the back. I was, imagine, I was here by myself, I got here by myself, and I didn't even see anybody, and he didn't even, I don't know, I think it's a he, but he didn't even walk out of the restroom, and I'm like that.
Doctor, I have problem for my neck. Would you check it for? I'll give you $45. I'll give you money.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. I want to know. This is
I got you.
So,
Okay.
this is what's going to, again, the range of motion is now going to lead me to thinking about upper trapezius. So that's in the back of my mind. I'm not making a decision yet, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, upper trapezius, levator scapula, SCM, right? These are areas. Yeah.
So is this kind of like doing PIR or
Yeah, then part of your massage would be doing PIR. So now it's going to help you decide, what are you going to do for this person? Am I going to do deep tissue? What kind of deep tissue? I'm going to do PIR. I'm going to do joint mobilization. But it helps you target, right, exactly what you're going to do. So you don't waste your time, right? You can just target what you're going to do. But obviously, of course, these muscles are always going to be tight. And these are muscles that, again, have been researched and have been published that these are muscles that a person that has upperclassmen will have. Right?
you can have both?
It makes everything easy, huh?
You can have both?
Can you have both? Yep. Yes, of course. Of course. Okay, so that is range of motion, right, for the neck. That's cervical. That's why cervical, I really want you guys to learn how to do, okay? Now, we're gonna have Ramona stand up. Oh, actually, you can actually have her sit down, sorry. Because, again, with the lumbar spine, we don't wanna have it happen at the waist, because that's totally different, right? Flexion of the lumbar spine is not this. This is not flexion of your, that's the SI, right? Sacroiliac. That's the sacrum and the ilium going like this. But lumbar is just L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, right? It's just right here. So, what I need you to do, and this one you can, again, you always with range of motion, you want to guide them, right? You want to do the same motion so that you can see it. So can you cross your arms for me, Ramona? Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to bring like your elbows down to your lap. Okay, so can you do this for me? And squeeze your elbows into your body. There we go. Anything there?
Just discomfort.
Just the shoulder. Okay, just the shoulder. Okay, come back up. And then now you're going to keep your hips down. You're going to stretch yourself up and back. You stretch yourself up and back. Anything there? No? Okay, so that is lumbar extension. Okay? So keeping your arms crossed, can you bring your right shoulder down to your right hip? Okay, but keep this right here against the table right here. So again, right lateral flexion, anything there?
I feel like some pulling on this area right
Pulling on the left side of your spine, okay? And come back up. Can you do that one more time? You feel the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. So again, this is mental note, right? Make to lateral flex to the right. She does have pain on her lap. Okay, or can you describe the pain?
It's like, yeah, it's like a pool. It doesn't let me go anymore.
Okay, doesn't let you
It's
go,
right.
so just more like a full. Okay, so again, keep your arms crossed, and now you're gonna do the same thing on the left. So bring your left shoulder to your left hip without bringing up your glute. Anything there? No. Okay, and back up. So this one, she didn't feel anything at all. So that's why that one is significant. Because if you're gonna feel something on one side, you should feel on the other side, but she doesn't. So right lateral flexion of the lumbar spine, okay? Then right rotation, keep your arms crossed. You're gonna bring this shoulder to this knee right here, okay? So go ahead, turn, to the right. Anything there?
No.
Any pull there?
Well, I just feel some pull, but it's
You
not.
feel on the right, okay, and relax. Can you do that one more time? You feel the same thing?
Not as bad.
Yeah, not as much, okay. All right, now you bring your right shoulder to your right knee, but turning this way. Okay. Anything there? No, okay. So, left lateral flexion, this one, was the only one she got some issues with, right? So, I'm gonna put her in passive range of motion. So go ahead, please, talk to her. I can move everyone
Have problem? Has problem? All of them?
up.
Has
Right-
problem
right
or
lateral.
hasn't or has?
House.
Has?
So if it shows up in both sides, do you just?
If it shows them, that's fine. Right, that's normal for her. That's any test. If it shows up on both sides, then it's normal.
What if like both sides have problems?
Most likely, sometimes when the body is off balance, it tends to happen on one side,
Okay.
right? Unless it's like a sharp shooting pain, right? If it's a sharp shooting pain, then yeah, right? Because that's a nerve or a disc issue, right? Okay. All right, so Ramona, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tip you to the right, okay? I'm just going to push down on your shoulder. Anything there? Anything like before? Oh, no. What was that? So what was that? Because when she did that on her own, go ahead, can you do it on your own again?
I feel it right
You
here.
feel it? Okay, she feels it on her left. Or on her left what? Her left what? Because she's feeling it pointing to her left what?
First and now.
I know, right? Okay, so let me do it again, just to confirm. Make it short, like go. Up.
I'm actually touching my leg with my elbow now.
Yeah, you see, I can go further, right? Again, did you feel anything when I did that?
No.
Nothing, okay. So yeah, muscle, right, erector spine. So she does have upper cross, but then she also has something with her erector spine. Okay? All right, so you see how I did, again, active first, and then passive to confirm what it is. Okay? I'm giving you guys the inside scoop.
So strengthening all of these muscles will help with your posture, right?
Not strengthening the tight muscle, but
Oh.
strengthening the weak
weak.
muscle. But stretching the tight muscle.
Stretch,
She's
okay.
got- So you've got to give them a routine of strengthening and stretching, right? It's got to be both, right? That's why people who work at the gym and just do the weights, they walk around like this.
That's my boyfriend.
They're not flexible. And the people that are super flexible that do yoga, sometimes if they don't do strength training, then they're not strong either. It's this nice delicate balance of strength and flexibility, right? You have to have both. So when you do a workout, and again, you guys saw, like for instance, you remember the P90X?
Yeah.
Right, the P90X, the reason why people drew to that was because, number one, we did different routines. And we have to both strength and movement, right? The people that are gymnastics, the people in Cirque du Soleil, they're both strong yet they're flexible at the same time, right? Again, you look at a gymnast. A gymnast can, kind of hold on to those rings, do the, hold on strong yet flexible.
Yeah.
We tend to be either way. We tend to be more on the strong side, like we tend to be too tight, too stable, right? Okay? So thank you, Ramona.
healthy woman.
Okay? So does that make sense to you guys for the strength for the range of motion number 3? Right? Okay? The range of motion is we're looking at the joint. There's a joint issue, right? If it's a muscle issue, then okay, yeah, we can work on it. But if it's a joint issue, that's not our thing. We might have to refer out, right? Maybe a chiropractor, right? Okay, then the last one, number 4, is muscle testing, right? So you guys have on your form a list of muscle testing, right? The one that you're worried about. Okay. So let's get going. Can we have you volunteer here? Okay. So go ahead and have a seat, Joan. Okay. So let's go through muscles one by one on your testing, right? So the first one is what? What is the first muscle? Upper trapezius. Now, upper trapezius is all about elevating the scapula or the shoulders, right? Okay, elevating the scapula, elevating the shoulders. So, I first want to make sure that she can do that. Can you elevate your shoulders? Very good, and relax. So that is already on muscle strength testing. That's already a 3. She's able to hold it up herself. She's able to bring it up, and she's able to hold it up. So she's already got points already. Good job, Jill. 3 points for you. Now, 4 or 5 is being able to resist, right? Muscle testing, right? So can you bring up both shoulders? Bring them up, and I'm going to press down on them. And again, you don't want to press with all your might. You just want to kind of see if you can hold. So count from 1, 2, 3. You can do it. Because now she has 5 points. Yay, you're doing it. Okay. So it was equal and active bilaterally. I felt the strength on both sides. If I only felt it on the right side, I would say 5 maybe on the right, 4 on the left. Right? If there was some give, right? But already she has 3 because she's able to do it. Right? Okay? And that was that scale we went over. You guys remember the scale? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and
Yes.
0? Yeah. Okay. All right, next muscle. Supraspinatus. Now, supraspinatus is, again, the supraspinous fossa, right, on the scapula. Now, supraspinatus helps in doing this, abducting the shoulder, okay? Abducting the shoulder. You can bring your phone over here. It abducts the shoulder to about here. So, Joan, can you do this? And hold. Okay, she has a 3, right? She's okay already. Okay, and go ahead and relax. And go ahead and come back up again. So now we're going to test for 4 or 5, right? 5. She's like Mary Poppins. Okay, so that is supraspinatus. And you can do it on both sides. Okay? Right, what's another one? Biceps, bicep tricep, right? Bicep tricep is going to be doing this, right? So bicep is bending the elbow, triceps is extending the elbow. So can you do this? Can you bring it up? Can you hold? That's already a 3, right? But now to test her, I'm going to stand in front of her. I'm going to hold onto her forearm, and I'm going to push down. Oh, she's a bottom okay? So she can hold it against flexion. Okay, extension would be she's trying to stretch out, right? So come in. So try to come out this way, and you're going to push it down against me. So now your hands are on the outside, right? You guys see that? Okay. All right. So you want to hold at least kind of 3 to 4 to 5, so she's strong with that. Okay, so bicep, tricep, check. Equal and active bilaterally. What's the next one? Wrist extensions and flexors. So I'm going to have her bring her arms out like this. And I'm going to have her flex her wrist. Flex her wrist. Okay? So she can do that. She already has a 3. And you go ahead and extend your wrist. And so she has a 3 there too, right? So first bring her arms out like this, right? Then flex. And show us how we do extension, okay? So now the flexion, go ahead, flex. She's going to try to push down even more. I'm trying to prevent her. So I'm putting my hand here on the tips of her fingers, so go ahead. Very good. I was gonna say that this one was weaker, but
It is.
it was weaker, right? Okay, that's weaker. So she is weaker on her left, just by a smidge. So that's like a 4 on the left, 5 on the right, wrist flexion, okay? So go ahead and go to wrist extension. And again, I'm trying to push down, she's trying to push up, right, extend. Okay? This side, right? Wrist extension on this side. Wrist extension on the right was a 4. Wrist extension on the left was a 5. She was stronger on the left than she was right. So I would say left, it says increase, decrease, right? So increase on the left, decrease on the right, right? Again, you have to write right or left for that one, okay? So again, she's a student, and she might be writing a lot, right? She's a student, so again, her wrist extensions might be tight. And you might see that in everybody, that their right dominant side, right, might be tight. And because it's tight, it's weak, right?
And
Okay.
that could also happen because, like, for people who type a lot.
Yeah, who use their arms a lot, and they're not massaging their forearms as much, right? So this is where you might find some tightness in her wrist extension. Remember, anatomy-wise, wrist extensors are out here, wrist flexors are here. Right? And again, they make up the entire forearm, right? Flexors and extensors, okay? All right, next one, quads and hamstrings. So quads and hamstrings are all about the knee, right? About the knee. So actually, Joe, I'm gonna have you sit on the stand and right over here. And side. So go ahead and sit on the table, sit the knee. Okay. So the quads are about extension. So can you bring both knees up? Very good. So her quads are really good. They're 3. And when you bring them down, they're fine. They're 3 too. The hamstrings are fine, right? Because you're able to bring them down. Okay. Or if I want to see hamstrings really, could you stand up for me? And can you do a flamingo on each side? Able to do that? You're able to do that as well. Okay, so that's hamstring. Hamstring bend the knee. Okay? Now, quad extending, but this is where she's sitting. Okay, so go ahead and sit again. So to test the quads, it wants to bring the foot up, right? So go ahead and bring both sides up. And then what I'm going to do, stand to the side. I'm going to try to push it down. No, strong. 5 and 5 on both sides. Okay? Now, bring them up again. Now, you're going to try to bend them. That's hamstrings. And I'm going to try to bend. So go ahead, please bend. Bend. That's okay. You can put your hand on your knee. Put your hand on your knee. There we go. There we go. All right, good. 5. Okay? So, that is about knee movement. Now, somebody has knee issues. They might have a hamstring on the quad. They might have weakness there. Okay?
This and this, no?
Yeah, you might find some weakness there.
So if they're weak, you work them out to.
If they're weak, they have to strengthen them. If they're
Okay.
tight, you work on them, yeah.
We don't massage.
Okay, so here's where, this is where you're thinking. I'm using the word weak, but I'm saying the muscle is tight. It's so tight that it's weak. But not weak like phasic. Phasic is muscles, like for instance, you tend to be weak. But when a muscle is super tight, it cannot do a stuff. So in a sense, a tight muscle could be weak. You guys understand? A tight muscle might be weak because it can't do stuff. It's just holding so long. That is weak. But it doesn't tend to be weak. It tends to be tight. And weak muscles tend to be right. 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 So muscles that are phasic, you have to work out, you have to train. But you don't work out these muscles because they tend to be tight, right? You never say, oh, you need to work out your upper traps more. You need to get higher. Higher. Right? Okay? You don't have them work out tight muscles. You work on tight muscles, or you tell them to stretch tight muscles. But in terms of function, maybe that's where I'm not clear. In terms of function, if a muscle is tight, it could be weak. But the tendency for it, the property of it, it tends to be tight.
So that's like when they have you work like on your posture, colleagues with me, they give me like exercises to kind of like stretch
mouth.
Open up the
right
tight
there.
muscle, yeah. Because pectoralis is major. Right? You want to open that up. Right? You don't want to strengthen pectoralis, because you're strengthening pec. Right?
They can't perform like, that's why they can't perform like,
Right.
they tight.
My right shoulder goes forward. Is that because this could be tight?
Yeah. You're
Right.
right.
And if I practice stretching it.
It's probably like, getting the other muscles to engage and like getting used to using the other muscles.
Like strengthening the back to help stretch.
So, yeah, so you need to strengthen the phalanx muscles. So nothing on this list. Coronary, vascular, glutes, and abs. Serrated rhomboids, lower middle back. Those are weak.
Yeah.
So you've got to strengthen lower rhomboids, lower middle back. See how it's all coming together, right? Ooh, you guys are understanding, right? It's cool, right?
Yeah.
It's cool when you
Very.
understand now the body and what the body, what's going on with this person. It's not just, I'm just going to massage. Now it's like, okay, now I know why I'm massaging and what to massage and why that person has that problem.
We have an intention, and it will show with the first, with the, the client, they'll know the intention they have,
Yeah.
not just.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the last one, muscle testing, is gastroc and tibialis anterior. The gastroc and tibialis anterior is all about the ankle, right? So here, I don't want to bend down to the floor. I'm going to have Joan, if you can just lay face up. On the table here. So the ankle is right here, right? So what does tibialis anterior do? It dorsiflexes. Can you dorsiflex for me? Bring your toes to your head. Good. And hold it. She can do it. She has a 3. Can you now push on the brake? Push down. Point your toes. She can do that. That's a 3, right? That's what test 4. Number 4 is not the 4 or 5. I'm going to test her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test her tibialis anterior. She's going to Good, very good. She has a 5, okay? Now I'm going to go to the tip of her shoe and leave my heel. And again, push down. Good, all right. Okay? So she has time. Thank you very much. Young, come on up. I'm going to push you for this. Good job.
So that included the gastroc. That included.
Yeah,
That included both.
tibialis anterior is here. So this one is dorsiflex.
And for
Everybody feel. Go ahead. Feel your tibialis
Yeah.
anterior and dorsiflex. Feel that muscle come out? That is tibialis anterior. Now everybody feel on the bottom,
the same.
the gastroc.
Yeah, that's right. So we're doing
Yeah. So again, this is why if you drive a lot, stop and go shopping, you can get spasm in your tibialis anterior. You can get spasm in your gastroc.
So what if, because, Joan right now was laying down with her feet off. So let's say somebody who sleeps on a bed like that for a very long time, could they have problems with those muscles?
Yes. It can get tight. That's how we tend to get Charlie horses at night.
It's still tight.
We're doing this all the time, right? And all of a sudden, like, and your foot is like, oh my God, right? Because